Yeah.
Okay, I'd rather read an article in the Wall Street Journal about rockets than to see, Messi crying about falling down because somebody blew in the wrong direction.
I'm going to lose money in the time it's going to take me on hours on end running back and forth to Home Depot, YouTube and how to fix this, than to just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah. And I was actually very disappointed that the mayor didn't come out, even though I personally invited her to come out. And I had breakfast with the mayor. And how long you been? When did you start on social media?
Man, it's been before Jen did it myself.
I remember that. Yeah,
Probably 9 years.
9 years. Wow.
I used to do prank phone calls.
Yeah.
And kind of post them to my Facebook before Facebook was doing videos and such, and they started picking up.
I did prank phone calls when I was 10.
See, imagine if you just turned the camera on.
You know what I used to do?
No.
I used to call like, it was so evil. I would call like Domino's Pizza, and I would say that, hey, Ryan ordered 3 pizzas, and then they would deliver it to Ryan's house, and he'd never order pizza. And then what I'd call bowling alleys. I'd say, hey, do you guys have 8-pound? Do you have 8-pound balls? Oh yeah, we do. And then I say, well, how the hell do you walk? And then I would hang up.
I like those
I did that
old,
every weekend. I don't know why I got such a kick out of it.
Remember Jerky Boys?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah.
So I started doing the prank phone calls. That was after overseas. So we talked about that last time. I was in the Army.
Yeah, thanks for your service, bro.
Of course, man.
Yeah, of course. A lot of respect for
Your
you
last
guys.
event. Which one was it?
Was
David Goggins was the first one.
Yeah, first event.
That was the first time I've seen him in person.
Yeah.
And the energy was ridiculous.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Whoa, when he walks out.
Yeah.
That stuck with me from your event the first time. Just seeing this. You listen to him every day, and then there's the aura.
Yeah.
Anyway, we could talk about that later. The event was sick. That was one of the best events.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to a lot of them.
Yeah.
And that was the energy in Tampa. There's just something different here.
It is, yeah.
It is. Maybe the weather.
Yeah.
But even in the hallways of your event, you could
feel the vibration.
Yeah,
you really could.
I mean, you stacked it.
Yeah.
It's got to be the success of this in a matter of a few more years is just gonna. It's already all over here.
Yeah.
Like
wait till you see the next one. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know.
2025 is gonna be crazy.
It's
gonna be crazy. Yeah. But it won't be in Tampa. It's either gonna be in Miami or Texas.
You outgrow it. Nah, you got to keep it in Florida though.
We're gonna try. We'll see. Yeah.
I'm going to Texas. I'm going with Adam Weitzman to Jake Paul's fight.
Oh, nice. When's that?
15th.
November. Oh yeah, November. Yeah.
I'll let you know if I like it. I've never been. So
Yeah.
So
Houston or Dallas?
I fly into Dallas, Fort Worth.
Dallas.
All right. So going back to my social media journey.
Yeah.
Just like you were saying, prank phone calls, whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't a kid though. I wasn't 10.
Yeah, okay.
I was 21 year old. But I was just kind of doing it. I struggled with some pretty bad PTSD after my 15
Yeah, I remember you telling me. Yeah.
And humor was kind of my thing. I promised guys overseas that I would pursue a career in entertainment. I was always playing pranks over there and whatnot.
Yep.
And unfortunately, some of them have not come back and have lost their lives either over there or through suicide. Still, it's such a dominant thing in the community.
It's a big number every day.
Every
Every
day.
day.
When it hits home.
Was it like 20 people a day?
Something around there.
25 people a day that commit suicide are soldiers from PTS.
And also, even men in general is far outnumbered women for suicides.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of the thing, even when I was feeling super depressed, super down, where it was like a little flame, kind of like David Goggins talked about, where if you have a little flame, like something. I mean, I tried to go to school, but I couldn't even sit in the class without having anxiety and panic attacks. I'd have to leave.
Yeah.
And so my way out was videos. I was just making people laugh. And it felt good to give to people.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, at the time, Vitaly was big, Roman Atwood with the pranks in public. I was like, I want to do that. Yeah. And so I kind of found a person to video me, and I did some social experiments and things like that that went really big. Yeah. And when I met Jen, we both worked full time, and she's like, when you're free, you're just filming the videos. I was like, well, you should just do it with me. Yeah. And I'll never forget the conversation we had in the kitchen where I was like, if we do this, it'll go big. Yeah. Like, I just knew it. Yeah. It's something before the whole boom, before TikTok, before. And I said, just trust me. Yeah. And our first video did 310 million views. And that was the first one. It was everywhere.
Now, when he talks about his numbers, man, dude, you talk about your numbers, like the millions of views, like just on average. Like, what are your views on average just for a random video?
So just the last 2 weeks, I have one at 50.2 million. That was the Halloween one that I did, trick or treating.
I saw it with the little kid.
With the little kid out of the doll. And I got another that just hit 24 million. I've pretty much developed kind of just.
You have a recipe now. Like you've decoded it for yourself.
Well,
for
you've done
audience.
it too.
Yeah.
You kind of figured out the sauce that
I don't
you
have
had.
numbers like yours. I think I'm like in 12 months. I think I got 375 million views. But you know
how long it took me to actually get to that number? Probably 5 years or so to figure it out. So you figured it out a lot quicker.
Shit all all day long too. So
I don't think does your audience even know like how much what's
I
going
don't
on
think
with
so.
Vick?
No,
Like,
actually, no.
do they know?
No, I think it's actually funny because my wife did a podcast in Miami last weekend. We went to Miami. I was on a couple of podcasts, and the girls. It was called Real Women. And it was like a podcast, and she was telling her story, and they were asking her questions about me. And either I'm doing a really bad job in marketing, or I don't know what the hell, but they were like, oh, I didn't know about the sleep testing thing. I didn't know it was the largest in the country. I didn't know, I didn't know he has almost 600 employees in South America, North America, and offices in Texas, in Tampa, in Medellin, and
which, by the way, has expanded since we last talked.
Yeah, it has. And so I felt bad because I was like, man, I'm doing a really bad job marketing myself or something. Seriously, dude. Because I'm like, how do you not know? I'm like, so I kind of take responsibility for it. I'm like, maybe I need to start talking a little bit more about it.
I think you should, because like if they're just looking right now, it's like, oh, he looks fresh. He's he looks, but like you just got pulled from a major meeting that's going on.
Yeah.
Your day has already started. You got now 2 children.
Yeah. Four.
4 children.
Yeah.
A wife.
Yeah.
A successful marriage.
Yeah.
And then here it's like, oh, here he is though. Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Good lighting. Vick looks good.
Yeah.
But your day has been going since what time today?
6.
And we were talking last night already, and you were grinding stuff out with me on social.
Yeah.
9:30, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, I knew about it. So when I tell people who Vick is, I'm like, sleep apnea, like he came up with this thing. It's easier. It comes in the mail. Because you keep technologically advancing it.
Correct. Yeah.
It's changed since I've seen
PPG
it.
technology. Yeah. We use a red light sensor that measures the red cells in your body and the movement of them. And based off that movement, for example, we can check many different channels about respiratory effort, body movement, and all these different types of things that we can do through that technology that not a lot of people know about. And so we use that technology. We have our own iPhone app, and we're the largest medical testing company for sleep in the country, if not the world, but the country for sure.
So I can't remember. The one thing I don't remember, though, is why the medical industry? Was there something that tied it to the sleep apnea?
My parents died of cancer when I was in my early 20s, and so I got pulled into the healthcare world.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it was because of that I felt like I wanted to get into this space that I could really make a difference, and that was really kind of the force behind wanting to get into the healthcare space. And then that kind of had its own journey, and then then in 2016, 17, I got into social media because I thought, okay, I want to take what I've learned in the healthcare space, and I want to transfuse that into the to other entrepreneurs, because I want more entrepreneurs in the healthcare space. Number one, I don't think there's enough ingenuity in the healthcare space, and I think we need bright minds because it's a very broken system. And I see it every single day with people that either can't afford health insurance, or health costs in general are very, very expensive. And so being in the space that I'm in, we provide a sleep test that is a lot more cost effective, it's better quality, and it's better access, and a lot more comfortable. So let's say you're living in a rural area. I mean, we're in 46 states, and so we have patients in Iowa and Nebraska. They don't have access to a hospital.
Yeah, of course.
And we're able to send a device to their house, and they do the test in the comfort of their own home, and then send it back to us. So look, we've tested over 1 million patients. I think in May of this year we surpassed 1 million patients. That was a huge thing. I mean, I remember when I got started in the business, and I was doing like 3 patients a week, and it was a lot. But I got into the business when it wasn't sexy. It wasn't coffee table talk.
It's still not sexy though.
Yeah, it's still not sexy, but now it's more common to talk
Yeah.
about people that have sleep related issues, where
Of course.
a decade ago it was like no one really talked about sleep. Yeah. Right now it's like sleep is the big thing. And I'm like, I was doing it for 10 years before anybody else was talking about it.
I think that's usually how it is.
Yeah.
Because now they'll see your company and how big it was, but they don't see because I still remember the story when we went and grabbed lunch.
Yeah.
Of the last little bit of money you had.
Yeah.
And you took a picture of it.
$78.
It's still on your phone.
Yeah,
you still
I have it on my phone. Yeah.
Well, when you guys edit this, put the screenshot, because I know you showed it to me.
Yeah,
How much
I did.
was it?
$78.
78, yeah, that's what it was. Damn, in this economy.
So you know what the tail number on my plane is now?
No.
It's 478. 4 is the month I was born, and 78 is $78.
I still remember that story.
$78.
And it's funny because you still have the screenshot of it.
Yeah, I kept it.
Man, that's just
November 2000.
But this goes back to what I was talking about as well. to get successful, this is something I actually kind of wanted to ask you, right? Do you think that there's always something behind that pushes someone, like, for instance, me, severe PTSD, went overseas, you, the cancer, because there's just days where, you know as well as I, where it's just...
He's eating glass.
Yeah, oh, God.
Yeah.
Or you feel like you're not making...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not making progress. You feel like a complete loser.
So the mind is really the only thing that ever stops
That's
us.
what you have to master.
Exactly. So do you feel like some of the best people have always had something like this? I just think the most successful, right? Like, you're not in this for money. No. The money came, but you were doing it out of the cancer that obviously, I don't know exactly how what I'm trying to.
Yeah, how do you want to phrase the question?
Yeah, I feel like everybody has this, like, extra thing, you know, because people are like, why? It just keeps hitting you in the nuts. What would you say to somebody who doesn't, say the flame's almost dead, or they don't have something like me and you where, I had PTSD and this inspired me, you know, like.
Well, I think you had purpose, right? Like, I think it all falls back to purpose, because money can't be your purpose, because that's going to end. Eventually 100%. You make some money, and if that's your purpose, then you stop or you slow down. And you see that all the time too, you know, that's people's motivation.
Because you reached that. But you're more motivated than I knew when you
I'm hungrier today than I was 10 years ago when I was broke.
That's why it's the passion.
Yeah. It's not money. It's trying to find your potential. It's trying to reach your potential. You know, I'm chasing that every single day.
Do you think that your wife and the kids played a big part in it for your motivation wise?
You know, I've never lacked motivation. I've never been that guy that I needed motivation. Like, I don't know what it is, and I don't know. God was dishing out motivation, and I got an extra cup of it. I don't know, but I've never looked for that. I've always just had that within me, and I'm fortunate to have that. But I never lacked motivation. I think my kids and my family and my employees and everybody provide and more of an inspiration to me to provide a better future for everybody. And I think that's what drives me is can I provide more opportunity, not only for myself, but for all the people around me.
So here's, I think, a question that could help. Right now, there's probably somebody watching this, $70 in their bank account. What's the first step that they can do? What can they do right now? $70, it's there. I mean, because you started from $70.
Less than that.
Something had to have clicked in you and you must have gone a certain amount of time as well without receiving money. But
years.
Something must have felt right with
2000, you. Yeah, look, if I was broke from
took it all away right now, $70.
2012, 13, 14, 15, most of 16. Life was day to day. I mean, it was Chipotle and water day to day, right? And I don't remember going to a fancy restaurant for 5 years. Didn't know what inside of a fancy restaurant looked like. Of course. But I think if you're watching this, I think the lesson really was that the secret sauce that I feel not only that propelled me, but yourself and a lot of other people is a vision of what life should be. And I think if you don't have a vision of what life should be, you need to get one. Because if you don't have a target and you don't know where you're trying to go, you'll never get there. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's what you're going to eat for lunch. If you don't have a target for what you're going to eat for lunch, you'll never eat lunch.
Did you dabble a little bit? I mean, you didn't just hit the whole sleep apnea thing, right? Did you have a couple failures before?
Oh, I had a lot of failures before. Sold a company for $9 million, didn't make any money. I started all over again and did all that in my 20s, and then in my 30s, I was trying to figure it all out, and then I was, I had a bad marriage and all this stuff, so I had to end all that to start over again. And
that's where I found you, by the way, your book.
Yeah,
which I don't know why more people. Because it seems like at your events,
yeah, I mean, it was an Amazon bestseller, which is great.
It was your book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still get messages today, people downloading the audio version of the book and stuff, but at the end of the day, it was the vision that really drove me. And I think that if you don't have a vision and a target for where you're trying to go, you'll never get there. And most of the people, if you ask them and they're struggling, it's like, well, what's your vision? What's your goal? What's your target? What are you trying to hit? I do that every single day with my team. I'm like, okay, what's the target? If you don't have a target, you're not going to hit anything. So it's better to have a target, even if it's lackluster. Have a target. Yeah. Right.
I couldn't agree.
So for me, it was a target. Hey, I'm trying to get to this. Now there will be a lot of trinkets and things that'll pop up where people will try to get you diverted from that target. And I think that's where the mindset has to come in, to where it's like, okay, how can I recalibrate and reposition myself back on target again? Because you're going to get distracted. Could be alcohol, could be drugs, could be women, could be men, it could be whatever, right? But all of those things are distractions from where you're trying to go. And most people fall for those distractions.
Speaking of that, because I watch a lot of documentaries, perfect example would be Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, started getting the
Distractions.
fame, the money.
Yeah.
Boom, started not
Yeah.
getting in jail. He did the huge stint before he came out. John Jones failed multiple times, had to forfeit his title.
Yeah.
16 months suspension, 12 months suspension.
Yeah.
When you started getting the money, how did you, because you never veered off.
Well,
so all of a sudden it's in your bank account. You didn't have it. You weren't born into this. How did you not? I know people who have, I know you know people who have gotten into all kinds of different stuff because money brings you more things. Yeah. Including fake people as well.
Yeah, of course.
But that's a good thing, I think, for people when you get it. How did you still, holy shit, I just made $2, $3, $4, $5 million. And this is what I was talking about. You're still as hungry as you were, worth what you are now.
Yeah.
There's no difference from when I first met you, which you were still doing well. Yeah. And now, but there's no difference. And I feel like there's no difference between the person that had that money in his bank account. Right. How, I just think that's a good how. You never veered off.
Yeah. I think that for me, I had the privilege of making a lot of mistakes early on. And so I had money, I lost money. And I think that taught me a lot. I think if you don't learn from your mistakes, then you're very naive, right? And that's where ignorance sets in. So I think you have to, particularly when people have mistakes, and then the first thing they do is blame everybody else. So that's the one thing I did. I was like, okay, I'm not going to blame anybody. I had a lot of mistakes and created a lot of mistakes very early on in my life. And so I was like, okay, what did I do? What happened? Where did I go wrong? What connection did I make, or what relationship did I not fulfill on that allowed me to get into this mess, right? And so I think learning and extracting the lessons from those things really helped me. And so I encourage people that, if they've gone through a lot of trouble in their life and drama in their life and failures in their life, they need to really take a step back and look and say, well, what did I do? What part did I play in that, right? Because that's where the gold is. So I think for me, it was doing that and then saying, okay, the next time I'm in this position, I'm not going to do this. But had I not done that self-reflection, and had I not, put myself in a position of responsibility to say, okay, whatever it was, whether it was relationships with friends, girls, business partners, employees, whatever it is, there's always lessons that you can learn from that and take yourself and put yourself in a better position. So for me, that's what it was. And then, so when I got another chance, through hard work and persistence of having success, I didn't allow myself to go backwards again. And that's what I don't want to do. Like, make one mistake, fine. Look, you're going to make mistakes. And I think that's why, I encourage people to make a ton of mistakes. Make a ton of mistakes very early on in your life. Make tons of mistakes, but learn from them. Yeah. Don't be naive and ignorant and think that you're just a victim and all these things happen to you because you have bad luck, or you don't have the right crystals in your house. Okay, it's because you were making choices and decisions that you probably shouldn't have made. And if you can't extrapolate the lessons from that, you're just going to do it again.
It's true. You see it over and over.
I see it every single day.
I do too. Yeah,
I see it every single day, and it pains me to see people make the same mistake over and over and over again.
I'm the same, especially in the social media game.
Dude, worst.
Well, if I had it like you and I could just make videos from home.
Yeah. They don't see all the work and sacrifice and time that you put into it.
And this is what I was getting at with you as well. It's like, how are you today? Like, you get swept in here, to sit down and do it, and then swept out. But it's like, I tell people all the time, go do it.
Yeah, go do it.
TikTok is free to post on. Instagram's free to post on. Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, come do it. Yeah. I'll see you in a year.
Exactly.
Let's see where you are. Yeah. I'll see you in 2 years.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
But they never do it.
No, they never do.
Or
most people don't do it.
They'll dabble in a little bit.
Well, they'll do it for a couple of weeks and then they give up.
That's usually the
It's
consistency is number one. If you want the formula to be successful on social media, it's consistency.
Or anything in life.
It's true.
But that's where I'm still peddling my sleep test. I'm still I'm still out there promoting it and doing this and social media and all that stuff. And I just wake up every single day, and it's one foot in front of the other. And that's why look, entrepreneurship, if people don't talk about it, it's the abyss. It's eating glass every single day. Yeah. It's not this glamorized thing people think it is. It's a very lonely place to be. Most people won't understand what you're dealing with or going through. No matter who, whether it's your wife or your husband or partner or whoever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Unless you have done it yourself and have gone through it intimately, it's very hard to understand what an entrepreneur or a business owner goes through, because you just don't know. It's like trying to explain to a man what it's like to give birth.
Yeah.
He'll never understand it.
No,
He'll never, oh, but it's uncomfortable. Okay, cool. Oh, no, but I understand. It's like, dude, you didn't give birth.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And being an entrepreneur is similar to being
thing.
pregnant, but you're pregnant for, instead of 9 months, you're probably pregnant for, 25 months or 50 months or 60 months. And then you give birth, and then it's a whole nother thing.
You know what the worst thing about entrepreneurship is? Well, not the worst thing. One of the best things is when you do start getting comfortable, you're not expanding anymore. It should
that's a disease.
never be comfortable.
Yeah, comfortableness is a disease.
It should, and it's a problem. And I know in my head where I'm like,
I force myself to not get comfortable.
Yeah, you cannot. People will say, well, that's probably unhealthy or this and that. No, we have our things that we do, of course, that can even us out. But expanding wise, no, you should never be comfortable.
No.
And people, I don't even realize it. And I don't know if you realize it, but I talk to people who will recognize us and be like, hey, I could never do it. I'm like, really? And they're like, no, I mean, the comments and this and that. I'm like, well, I'm at a point now where I read a lot. I'm more into the Buddhism way of things. And I'm like, they're not mad at me. If they say they hate me because of a video,
they hate themselves. Yeah.
You don't even know me.
Yeah.
So when you get over that whole aspect, like you and me, right? I live to provide to the world laughter.
Yeah.
And you provide an easier way and a more comfortable way for people to live at an affordable rate when things are so astronomical.
Yeah.
We're here, right? Yeah. We can't lose because we're providing the universe with such good things.
Yeah.
That come from our heart. We're not in it for money. We're not we're just given.
Yeah.
You've done something. You put all this sacrifice in.
Yeah.
To make it easier for these people, where I don't even need to get into the medical field. You know far more than I do, but I know what prices of stuff are and what they charge.
Yeah.
And you went through constant to help other people. Who has the right to ever say anything about you in any way?
Yeah. But they do.
But what did you do today?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, when you're successful, that's what happens, right? But there's a saying: "What you hate in me, you see in yourself."
Of course, or what you're jealous of is, which is fine. We all have emotions, but I'm not gonna be jealous of someone who lives in New York. I don't want to live in New York.
Yeah.
Now, if you live in Malibu on the water,
Yeah, it's different.
But I think this is where, as an entrepreneur, when we're kind of alone or with people that we truly know, we kind of laugh. People come up to me, man, the 911 Turbo West, you're a lucky guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to be lucky
20
too?
years of hard work. There's no luck. There's no luck.
You guys, please, I can say it over
you
and
get
over
luckier
again.
the harder you work, right? But
it's it's planting seeds.
Yeah.
So the more seeds that you plant, something's going to grow.
Something, eventually.
And it's the same with business.
Of course.
You had other stuff go on. This one ended up growing.
Yeah.
But that is why I think it's important to get your story out with things behind this.
Yeah.
Because they just don't understand. Same with me.
Yeah.
The shit that you go through, just to even, let me say one thing, and I texted you this. You made an event. This guy which camera can I look at? He's never done an event before. You didn't know nothing about this event. You're going on your third year.
Yeah.
I've been to many events. That was the first year was one of the best events I've ever, but you didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Do you know how big your balls have to be to rent out the place, which now you got to sell it out.
You got to sell it
Your name is out there.
Your name is out
there. Everything's on the line out there.
Yeah.
And this guy did it. I just, that's the most respect ever. I texted you that.
Yeah,
I get chills because
yeah.
that was insane. You had no experience whatsoever
idea.
In any speaking, nothing. And then you hosted it.
Yeah.
And was an unbelievable host.
Yeah, thanks.
And now you're running the podcast.
Yeah.
And then you have a successful marriage.
Yeah.
Then you take care of your kids.
Yeah.
And now you're still expanding your business.
Yeah. But time management,
but
I guess.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's happy and he's smiling. He didn't do. He's living
Well,
the dream.
funny thing was when I did the conference, they were like, "Hey, have you ever spoken in front of a couple of thousand people before?" And I was like, "No."
And you hosted it.
And I never really thought about it. The day before, I actually I just went for a walk on the causeway. I was just kind of by myself. I was just like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna be speaking in front of these people. I didn't have anything written out or anything. But I was like, okay.
And me in the audience, it seemed just like you've done it before. This is your...
Yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, that's supernatural when you were up there. But I wasn't nervous. I was actually very excited.
You're excited, yeah.
I was very excited.
This is what people
very,
say.
very excited. I thought it was so cool.
This is kind of what I do with videos, right?
Yeah.
I get so excited when I film videos.
Yeah, and it comes through the video.
Yeah.
You can tell. It's not manufactured.
I get so... I'm like, whoa, this is going to be... This is a good one.
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't matter what anybody out there ever says about my videos, or they've been saying that my videos suck.
Who cares?
I used to think when I first started that, people around town. Yeah. By the way, nobody's ever said anything to my face. It's only online.
No, but I'm sure you get recognized everywhere you go.
No. I mean, nobody's ever come up to me in person and said your videos suck. They're always excited to see me. It's only online wars.
Those people are cowards, so.
But they used to say, this is a joke. Your stuff sucks. I'm like, you know what? In 8 years, I'm going to be big enough, and no one's going to say that. Well, 10 times more people say that now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
true.
You can't wait.
Yeah.
And you can't. There's a mechanism, right, in our brain, and I think you'll know and understand what I'm talking about, where it's like the conference. If they had given you a little time to think about that, I don't think you would have done it. I think you thought of it, and you went. Yeah. And you didn't even think about it until after.
I don't like to think about stuff.
It's like that Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
You can't think about it. And then after, you're probably like,
well, it's right. Shit. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I think it was great.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, the things that flow are the things they're just the right things to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I just remember when you were starting out, you're like, do you know any female speakers? Like, you didn't have nothing in the game. But then when you pulled it together, it was like,
wow, this guy's been doing this for a decade.
Just like when you were talking out there.
Yeah.
But these are the risks that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Now it's going on the third year. It's been a lot more successful even in the first year than a lot of these that have taken.
A lot of people were like, hey, this looks like a 5th, 6th year conference.
Can we I don't think these people get it, right? Like, here's a guy who never did it. To get the people that you got.
Yeah.
These people don't just go, hey, David Goggins, you want it? That guy gets 50 million offers a day, but somehow you got David Goggins here.
Yeah.
You know how many offers he turns down? I know people personally where he's like, nah, won't do it.
A lot.
First conference, David Goggins.
Yeah.
I don't think people.
No, it's not. No, and actually, it's funny because he's never done GrowthCon. Grant. I know Grant is a friend of mine. He did my conference.
Yes.
And they were like, well, how come he's never done GrowthCon?
When you got him, he was more aloof than he is now. Now you see him a lot.
I feel like I feel like the Rise Conference Year 1, 2023 was the launching pad platform
100%.
for David Goggins
100%
on the speaking scene. I will say that
100%.
I think he might agree with me.
He was so elusive before your thing.
Yeah. He had never really been in the event space as much
for that amount of time.
And I think that the Rise Conference really was the launching pad for him, because after that he was like doing a lot of conferences, which was great to see because he's a guy that needs to get his message out. You wanted to ask me some stuff about last night. We were talking about
the balance.
The balance. Yeah.
So we got into a little bit.
Yeah.
Before the little break, but basically the balance of business.
Yeah.
Pointers for people to balance a business, relationship, kids, because obviously it's super difficult to balance all that, right?
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, how many times do you see it where you go way too much into the business and then this starts to fall? But you seem to be doing it.
I seem to be doing it because, and this is something really important that people really got to understand about life and managing life, is they have to understand that there really is no balance.
It's true.
And the day you accept that, the better off you'll be. And here's why. Because there are days and weeks where I'm just, 14, 15 hours a day into the business, okay? And I barely get to see my kids that week, right? Or my wife that week. But then there's weeks where there's less time being involved in the business and there's more time being spent with my wife and my kids, right? And the sooner you accept that that's really what it takes to be successful, the better off you'll be mentally, because you no longer get into this battle of feeling bad that you're not spending time with the person you're with, okay? I think where I've been successful with this perceived balance has been in my ability to do due diligence.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I say due diligence, what I mean, and this is something that every woman out there needs to do, and every man out there needs to do if they haven't gotten married yet, please pay attention to this. Do your due diligence. And what do I mean by due diligence? Due diligence means really make sure that the person that you're getting ready to do a contract with has been vetted. Okay. That what they are saying they really mean, and that you guys have had the tough conversations. Okay, I did my due diligence. Yeah. I made sure that Huli was on board with what she was signing up for. Okay, I made sure that she really wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. She wanted to be a wife. She wanted to be a mother to our kids, and she wanted to be the backbone of our family, right? And she had her part in it, in which she had to be honest about it and not say what I wanted to hear. And that was the thing I admired about her, is that she didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. And I knew that very early on, right? Yeah. So I did my due diligence. I made sure that I was also honest about who I was and what I was trying to accomplish in life. So to this day, you know, 5 years in now, she's never said you work too much, you're always at work, money's the most important thing to you, and all you care about it. Like, she doesn't say those stupid things. Yeah, because the only person that would say those stupid things would be somebody that doesn't get it. Yeah, right. They're ignorant, and then they're trying to call shots when you have no reason or business calling shots. So I invested a lot of time in the due diligence of my relationship, and I feel like most women and men go grossly wrong there. They never ask the tough questions. They don't talk about politics. You know, they don't talk about, well, what party are you with? Yep. Why do you support this? Do you believe in Social Security? Do you believe in Medicare? Do you believe in the Republican policies or the Democratic policies? What is your idea about money? Should you save money? Should you spend money? Do you want to have a 401k? Do you want to have an IRA? What happens if we're making X amount of dollars? What are you going to do? Do you agree with a prenuptial agreement or not? Like, all of these things need to be talked about, which 90% of people, 95% of people, I think, don't talk about it. And then they get into a relationship, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, you find out. Yeah. Oh, I discovered. No, dude, you just didn't ask the questions day one because you were stupid about it.
That's my wife and I's biggest thing when people ask us: communication.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Communication.
And being honest about it. And so today, I don't have to pretend, which I never wanted to do in my life. I think the worst thing for me was pretending in life. I never wanted to pretend. And so for me, I don't have to pretend. Yeah. My wife knows that I love to work. I love to be productive. I love creating businesses. And I love creating great products. And that's what I love to do. I'm not the guy that's going to be at Home Depot on the weekends. And nothing again. I don't hate on the people that do that and have a passion for that. I'm not that guy. I'm not creating a flower bed in the garden, and I'm not going to remodel a room, and I'm not going to do any of that stuff. Okay, but that's just not me. I don't find, it's just like sports. I don't watch sports.
I don't either.
Okay, and I don't. It's not like I dislike sports, because I love sports, and I used to play soccer when I was in high school. I just don't have time for it, and it doesn't bring me pleasure anymore. I don't get excited about it. Okay, I'd rather read an article in the Wall Street Journal about rockets than to see, you know, Messi crying about falling down because somebody blew in the wrong direction. Okay,
I think if you know,
it's the truth.
But you know, when I know, okay, football, whatever, right? It's like you have to invest all that time, and I refuse to go watch these people making millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, they don't care about you. They don't care about Hammy. They don't give a fuck about Hammy, dude. People will. And that's what I never got it. I never understood.
I don't.
Oh my God! Do you know this who do you think? Dude, look, guys. People, you're wasting your life. Yes. You're wasting your precious life caring and worrying about what these athletes or celebrities or whoever it is that they do. Like, do you understand that they don't give two rats' asses about you and your family? Nothing. And if you can pay your rent or not pay your rent, and yet you treat these people like they're gods? Do you not? They don't give a shit. They don't care. Actually, what I probably think, this is just my own opinion, I think that most of these guys, not all of them, most of these guys are probably walking around like, man, these are a bunch of dumbass motherfuckers. Yeah. Because all I know how to do is kick a ball. And they treat me like they probably are in shock. Like, I see it with some of these guys, right? I can see it in their eyes, man. I'm like, they're walking around like, dude, I need it. That's why they're all religious. Yeah. That's why these guys are religious. Because they're like, thank God I know how to kick this goddamn ball. Because if I didn't, I'd be working at Chick-fil-A. I'd be a Chick-fil-A. Like, hey, what you need mayonnaise? You want that Chick-fil-A secret sauce? What you want? What you want?
It's true. Well, you know how many times it happens all the time. You see these people.
Hey, don't forget the pickle. Don't forget the pickle. You know it. You know they be especially these soccer cats, man. They be running and somebody tap them on the shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And then on the ground crying. Oh, my leg. My leg.
It's like theater.
Pay me $9 million a year. Everybody treat me like God. Y'all look, I'm telling y'all, this may not be popular, but y'all some. Yep. If you treat these athletes and people like God, look, hey man, they bleed just like you and me, and they don't give two shits about you. So watching sports, great. You love the game, great. But when people start idolizing these people, I'm telling you, these cats are walking around like they're like, what the hell? Like,
got 'em.
Yeah, like I bet they feel bad. I'd feel bad. It's not like I'm figuring out the cure for cancer. I just know how to kick a ball.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And everybody treat me like I'm God and I should run for president?
It goes beyond all the time. You see it in the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing? Well, what is the quote? First off, there's a quote. Everybody roots for someone who doesn't need it.
Yeah.
So, for instance, going back to friends I know,
I
right?
think, yeah, like personally, you fought in the war. Like, you put your life on the line for democracy and our flag, okay? In my personal, humble opinion, you are more valued to our country than Messi and all these other schmeshy-feshy people that are kicking a ball should be idolized. I'm telling you, because he ain't done nothing for this country.
No.
He ain't do nothing, dude. You're just kicking a ball.
He's not even from here.
He ain't even from here, but I'm not picking on Messi.
No.
I'm just saying, like, in general,
No,
like, dude, you're way more valuable than some cat that's playing the sport. Like, God bless him, and I'm not saying this because I'm hating on him. I'm richer than most of them. But at the end of the day, they're still not helping the country as much as our soldiers, our firemen that put their life on the line to go into a burning fucking house. You think that one of these soccer players or football players are gonna run in a burning damn house? They ain't gonna do that shit.
No.
They ain't doing that.
Police too, of course.
Police, I love our policemen that are risking their life every day for people that they don't know. But yet we're telling kids, you need to wear this jersey and you need to idolize this person because they could kick a ball or throw a ball or catch a ball. And I just think it's the most ridiculous. I'm not teaching my kids that shit at all. And I hope that a parent is watching this video and they start recognizing that you got to start flowing power to the people that are actually helping. Like, I'm taking my kid to the fire station and be like, hey, look, dude, hey, these guys will potentially risk their life for you one day. Yep. Like, when I go to a restaurant or something and I see a policeman in restaurant picking up food, I buy his food for him.
I do it all the time.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
If I see a police officer or any officer that's in line somewhere, I'll buy their food for them. And I'm like, hey, I bought your food. I buy their food and I walk out. Because those are the guys that really matter. And so when I see these people like idolizing these sports heroes, I'm like, y'all got it all wrong, man. These guys fell for the trap that the Romans created thousands of years ago.
It's true.
All the Romans did, just so you guys know, you ain't watch this shit on Google, okay? But the Roman Empire created the Colosseum and sports because the politicians said, hey, let's keep these dumbass busy so we can kind of carve our way and manipulate what we want to do. That's a true story. Anybody you guys know about Roman politics and history, that's what they've done and that's what they did. Hey, let's keep these dumbasses busy with this shit.
Yep.
And let's go here and start like plotting on people.
It's literally in the Gladiator movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep the mob
busy, man.
That's
keep the
what
mob
they say.
busy. So y'all need to wake up, man. And again, I'm not hating on sports people. You guys doing sports. I got a lot of great friends that are in the NFL and all that stuff. And I'm not saying all of them. And a lot of them probably agree with me, man. And a lot of people have. They've said, hey, I'm not a role model. I'm just here playing the sport. And that's true.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't get our
kids.
kids.
You're someone who made it. It's like, have
man.
you made it yet? Like, you're watching people
Yeah.
who made it.
Yeah.
I refuse to. I just can't do it.
I get fired up about that.
Me
shit,
too.
Man.
Well, I got guys at the gym. Oh, what are you doing Saturday and Sunday? Man, I love your Porsche. I wish I could have a Porsche. What are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to go hit Siesta Key Beach all day, and then on Sunday I'm having people over for the football.
Yeah.
But you want what I have.
I'm at Hooters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's if you want things other people have, you have to do things other people don't want to do. And that's what Ed Milet said.
Yeah, true.
It's just so true.
It's so
So going back to like you said with the cops, I keep a stack of Starbucks gift cards in my glove box. First responders, police. I just hand them out all the time.
Oh, that's great, man.
But you also failed to mention the price difference.
Yeah.
The firefighters, what they make compared to these, and they're still well known.
It's an unfair system as it relates to the right people being admired.
Yeah.
And I just think that society at some point's got to wake up and say, hey, why do we idolize the wrong person?
Yeah.
They ain't saving you, man. They're not saving you, and it's like I don't get it.
I think that's part of even like what we were going for and talking about before is the fact that I'm just making videos. I'm just giving to the universe.
Yeah.
You're just giving to the universe all your time to help these people with sleep apnea be able to get access to things that used to cost God knows what before you came along.
Yeah.
What they would have charged if you didn't invent what you're using.
Yeah. Thousands of dollars.
It's like, how can you lose? We're just giving. That's
Products
it.
and services, man. It's products and services. And I think that as a businessman myself, I think what I've really started to learn more and more over the last several years is just if you can just invest more in your product.
Yeah.
You know, like no matter whether your product is creating videos, like the videos you create, you put a lot of love and care and thought into it. And and with us, with our sleep testing technology and the things that we do, and if you can invest whatever it is that you're doing, more time and energy and love and care into the product that you're creating, you're never going to have to worry about money. And that's the thing that I always tell people is stop chasing money and start chasing value.
I think what people don't realize is that you could basically sell this company for $300 million plus and walk away.
Yeah.
But you don't.
No.
Why?
Well, I guess there's a lot of complicated factors that go into it, but I think that for me the core of it is that I love what I do. Mm-hmm. You know, selling any company requires that you want to find the right partner, right?
But I know you had offers.
We've had offers, but it was never the right partner, man. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to come in, generally speaking, and buy 100% of your company. They want to buy a portion of your company. Well, that means you're going into bed with somebody, right? You're getting married, and so finding that right partner has always been a challenge and something that you want to make sure that you're very careful of.
But even if you didn't have to remain at the company and someone did outright want to buy it, which your company I could definitely see somebody wanting to do because of where it is, you could walk away.
Yeah, it's
tomorrow.
generational wealth. Yeah, for sure.
Fine.
Like multi-generational wealth. Yeah.
I don't think people realize that you've made it. I mean, but I know that you want to expand because we talked about that before too. But basically, you could just. This is what some people do. Nothing against them when they build a company and they're like, "Hey, here's my out."
Yeah.
You're not done.
No, I mean, I think that I've got a long path of where it is that I want to be. For me, creating generational wealth was always a goal that I had that I wanted to do, and
first one to do it in your family.
First one to. Well, in my immediate family, I've got a cousin that's my dad's brother's son. Is very, very successful, and he was actually one of my inspirations as I was growing up. I'd see him and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. The life that he created for himself out of nothing. And so, I looked up to people like that, and him and I are very close now, and because he's able to see the things that I go through as a younger kid now, and so he kind of looks at that and admires that, which is cool. But for my immediate family, yes, there's always one guy.
Yeah.
Right. It's very typical in most families.
Yeah, of course.
That big families need to understand. It's usually going to be one. It's going to be one cat in your family that's going to go out there and kind of blaze a trail. And I was that one kid in my immediate family. But yeah, look, I mean, that's always a goal. I know that after that goal there'll be a bigger goal and a bigger goal.
Of course.
Like I want to do some really big stuff. I want to build rockets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
that's why we keep going. You know what we didn't mention was, I know it was very important to me. I don't know about you, but when I started getting things going was a mentor that I had that saved me.
Mentors are great.
Headaches. I mean, I'm not talking today's mentors. Just kind of. He was a veteran.
Foo. Yeah.
But man, did he save me so many headaches. Yeah. And so much.
But kudos to you for listening, man. There's a lot of people that have mentors that don't listen.
You're right.
They don't listen.
It's true.
They suck the information. They do nothing with it.
You're right. I mean, every day. Look at all the shit
you know how many people
out.
that have mentors, they don't listen to them?
I mean, basically, you've already laid out your plan.
Yeah.
And if you're selling
don't listen.
the plan is there.
That's the fallacy is people think that, if I just had a mentor, if I just had, somebody tell me. The thing that I've experienced is most people, even if you tell them what you have to do to be successful, won't do it.
Yeah. Big portion.
So the lie is that everybody wants to be successful.
Yeah.
There's no bigger lie.
Because it's out there.
Most people don't want to be successful, 100%. No matter what they tell you. Like if you go to McDonald's today and you find the guy in the drive-thru that's working there and say, hey, do you want to be rich and successful? He'll say, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you need to do this, and this. Do you know what they'll do tomorrow?
Go back to their job.
None of it.
Yeah.
They'll do none of it.
That's the thing with entrepreneurship and a lot of Americans is that they like the 9 to 5. It's safe. It's meant to be like that to keep you trapped.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5.
No, I agree 100%.
There's nothing wrong with it. But
if you're happy with it.
If you're happy doing what you're doing. I mean, look, would I be happy working for some multi-millionaire, billionaire guy that was that had his head on correctly and had big visions and plans and stuff, and would I be equally successful as him? Yeah, I would, because I would provide value.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. But then, sometimes if you can't find that right team member to latch onto, then at that point, maybe you got to blaze your own trail. But if not, I mean, dude, why take the risk? I know so many people that have latched on to other very successful people, and they're very rich, and they're doing very, very well, and they're not hurting for money. So why take the risk?
It's true. No, if you're happy with your job, but last
if
time
you're
I
happy
looked,
with your job, but most people are not. I mean,
84%
most people
of
are not.
Americans hate their job.
Yeah, they don't like what they do.
It's just the uncomfortable
You
part.
like what you do?
I've been doing this for 2
There
years.
you go. See, yeah,
He's been all over the place, but it's just that uncomfortable.
yeah,
Constant uncomfortable that we were talking about.
yeah.
It's
That's hell,
constantly
man.
uncomfortable.
That's hell. That's
I don't
hell.
like to think about it. It's like me and you were talking before. Is that little? You can either do it or you think about it. But then if you think about it, you're like, I'm not going to do it. Like if I walk up to a cliff, right? I know it's safe to jump off.
Yeah.
Or people have done it. I don't even think about it. I'm just jumping off, and I take that with everything. I
Yeah.
just have to do it.
You're decisive, though.
yeah. I just can't. I can't think about it.
You consider yourself a very decisive person?
I think I operate, and I can imagine you as well, as off of feeling what feels correct. If it feels like making a video, and I get an idea, I'm like, that's gonna go big.
Yeah.
I just know.
Instinct.
Yeah, it's just I know.
It's instinct more than feel, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
like you just know.
You just know.
You can't.
Yeah. Feeling is after.
Yeah, I would
Like
say
it's
so.
thought, emotion, effort. Right? It's like you can't have the emotion without the thought.
It's true.
It's impossible.
But I think it's something that
impossible,
happens.
but
It
yeah.
happens quick though.
Yeah. You're like if I said get sad, the first thing you'd have to do is do what?
You have to think.
You'd have to think.
Then the emotion comes.
Yeah. It's always thought. Always.
But just like when you did your first RiseCon,
Yeah.
you thought, but you dove in right away.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't allow the feeling to come in.
Of course. And that's where it is though. You walked up to the ledge and you just
Yeah,
jumped
most
right
people
away.
are just thinking with just feeling it. And that's not really
Emotions.
emotions.
That's what you have to get under control. That's what I.
You got to get your emotions under control.
That's what I study. The
Yeah.
biggest part in Buddhism is not getting too high when things are good, not getting too low when they
Yeah.
suck, because they're gonna suck.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna go back up again. But don't get too high when things are going good. Don't get too low when things are going bad. And one thing I think that you would definitely relate to is entrepreneurship. I got a lot of new entrepreneurs, and they're like, man, I made $50,000 last month, but I made $5,000 this month. Okay, so what's the problem? I don't really have much money. What'd you do with the $50,000 from last month?
Yeah.
I told you it's not going to be equal every single month. You're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
These are the things though where it's. I mean, we see it all the time.
Yeah,
it's
true.
like entrepreneurs up and down.
Yeah.
You're not ever.
No,
There is no
no.
sailing.
No, you jump off the cliff and you're building your
Yeah.
plane as you're going down
You
the
might
cliff.
sail for a couple days with no nothing,
yeah.
but then, pow,
Yeah,
oh,
sure.
sail just broke.
Yeah.
Million things you got to attend to, and Andy Frisella talks about it too.
Yeah.
But entrepreneurs out there, especially you early on. Now, obviously, you're in a more steady stream. But you could do 100,000 in a month. It might be 2, 3, 4 months before you get another big hit, especially in the creator world.
Yeah, creative world's totally different.
Oh, because the brands come around in December, January. I tell people, I'm like, oh, you made good money, but put it away. What do you mean? Everything's good. Bro.
Winter's
they're-
coming.
the ad spend after January is
Game
like
of Thrones,
going
man.
down,
Winter's
bro.
coming. They said that like 100 times every episode.
Oh.
Winter's coming.
And then what happens?
Winter came.
The brands pull back. Wow,
Yeah.
you were right. Listen, you want to do the same thing next year?
Yeah.
90% don't do the same thing next year. 10% listen to me in the first point,
Yeah.
and they can stream it with the money.
Yeah.
Because even business, you hear crazy stories like Elon, where they were so close to going bankrupt. Or
Same here, man. I've been so close to being
of
bankrupt
course.
so many times. Yeah.
Do you know how crazy that is? But to be able to remain cool in that moment,
It's a test.
that's like your thing. If you know Vic personal, well, you guys work with Vic. You can't read Vic.
Nah, these guys can read a little bit.
I can.
Yeah. If after you've gotten to know me, you can.
I
Yeah,
can't.
you
Like
can.
when you
Yeah.
walked out
Yeah.
on in the show
Yeah.
and RiseCon, even
Yeah.
people with me are like, "Oh, damn, yeah, like he's done this before." I'm like, "No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
He has no idea what he's doing right
Yeah,
now."
yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And that's what's so fun
Yeah.
about being here watching him. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Really?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "He's just doing it, dude.
Yeah.
This is his first one. He's
Yeah,
never
yeah,
done this."
yeah.
No way. I'm like, "Yeah, dude." And then you go backstage, he's just cool. I mean, I know there's times where you probably get pissed in businesses,
Yeah, of course.
I'm the same. But for the most part, if you can't tell somebody who's walking out in front of an audience of how many were there at the first,
Like 2,200.
first one,
Yeah.
and you couldn't even tell,
Yeah.
that's a good poker face.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't look nervous.
Oh, well, I wasn't though. That was a cool thing.
Yeah, you were
I
excited.
think the thing that I pride myself on is I don't have a poker face. Like I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like if I'm upset, you guys know. If I'm pissed, I'm pissed. If I'm happy, I'm happy.
Business wise,
Like, yeah.
but doing this type of thing. I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like you just look like you've done it.
Yeah.
But you've never done it.
Yeah, I've never done it.
You didn't even. What's the largest group you spoke to?
No, maybe like 25 people.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I think maybe 50 people. No, I think, maybe my staff meetings.
You have your staff meetings.
I have my staff meetings, yeah. So that was like 300 people. Okay, so 300 people was probably max.
Okay, and I've seen your staff meetings.
Yeah.
There was no difference between the staff meeting and then walking out in front of 2,200 people.
Yeah.
Your face was the same.
Yeah, it was the same, yeah.
And you had Magic Johnson, David Goggins.
Yeah.
All these.
Rick Ross,
all these people.
Yeah.
Can we do a side-by-side, guys? Get the side-by-side of the 25 people meeting, 2,200 meetings. It's the same.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more lit up at the 2,200.
I think I was more excited with the 2,200. A little more production. Yeah.
But this is something people can relate to, right? Because
Yeah.
a huge amount of people fear speaking in front of people.
Yeah.
Like a classroom. This guy walked out in front of 2,200 people and not just one speech, you hosted 3 days.
Yeah.
And then after, everyone's like, dude, this is the best event. When's the next one?
Yeah.
Second year.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Now we're going into the third. What's going to be different this year? What's something that...
I think it's going to be a lot more focus on the entrepreneurial groups. But I think it's going to be, I don't want to say more of the same. I think we have a recipe that I think people really like and enjoy, where it's a good time. It's not too heavy. It's not too serious. You get to learn a lot from a lot of entrepreneurs. We have some of the biggest A-listers and the most successful entrepreneurs in the country, if not the world. And so I think that they've gotten to know the brand. I think that we've done an excellent job, the team and myself, of creating an experience where people now think, the Vick Tipnes brand, they think excellence, they think it's high level, and it's, no expense spared. And that's what we really wanted to create, right, was that. And that's why we went so over the top on the first conference, with all the details and the comic books and the lighting and the stage. I mean, the stage was $1 million.
Yeah.
So I think that that is the image that we wanted to create, and I think we accomplished that. And so now it's just adding to that and having even better speakers and a great venue, great after party, creating a great networking environment, which is very important because that's something that's really big as a value add for all the participants,
that's
right?
The biggest thing you get out of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the people, like, I still get messages today. I mean, years, even from the first conference, where they're like, hey, I met this person there. We ended up starting a business together. Or this person invested in my company, or this person became my mentor, or just friends.
Yeah.
Hey, we're friends, and we became friends at the first conference, and that's carried on from year 1, 2, and 3. So that's really what we wanted to create too, was that
it's all high level
camaraderie.
people at your events. It's not.
Dude,
this isn't you pay $20 at the door.
No, this is not a $99 event.
This is people that are looking to get
fairgrounds,
who are paying this price.
Yeah.
Who come from all over and fly in.
Yeah.
This is hungry people, and sometimes even if you don't, I met another guy there too, who was starting in content at your event, and it's not that he's on the level where we are, but his energy.
Yeah.
He's so excited, so it keeps me excited. So sometimes I'm like, what's going on? What's up,
Yeah.
You filming today? I'm like, yeah, I'm filming. Filming.
Yeah.
And this is the type of people you meet at RiseCon. And they're super important, which will lead into something I think you can relate to as well, which would be the cars. We're both car people.
Yeah.
By the way, he got me into Porsche. Vic had a 911 Turbo, and I said, really? And you had an 812 Superfast at the time?
Yeah, 812 Superfast.
I was like, the Porsche, really? Compared to the 812 Superfast? I don't know, man. I like the Flash.
Yeah.
I got 911 Turbo S now. I'm never going back. Got a GT4, GT3 RS. But what I'm getting to is not that, oh, look at me, I'm in the car. It's the people that I meet. Every time I go back to my car, there's a new business card.
It's a billboard.
It's a
marketing piece. Yeah.
That's the big. This is what people overlook. It's not, look at me, dude, in my Ferrari. You meet so many people in business, successful people.
It's your business card.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, that's why. I mean, look, I love cars like you do, but I think taking it beyond the love for the automobile, right, and thinking about it from the aspect of being an entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. We're only as good as our network, right? Your net worth is your net worth.
100%.
Right? Or your network is your net worth. And so, for me, investing in cars is an important networking piece, because everywhere I go, I'm stopped.
Everywhere,
like literally, if I go for coffee, either somebody recognizes me or they say, "What do you do?" And I say, "Okay, pull up my IG." They pull up my IG. Next thing you know, they're at the next conference, or they're buying a book, or they're asking for help, and whatever it may be. that's what that is. And to me, that's just a priceless tool. So I highly encourage people to invest in that.
Yeah.
If you haven't, or you think, there's a lot of videos online about, buying a Lamborghini and all this stuff is stupid and all that. I don't think it's stupid. It's funny. The people that say those things actually have those things.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well then why do you have nice shit?
Yeah.
Right. It's like you have nice shit because you know that it's going to attract attention.
Yeah.
And money's going to go to attention, right? People are going to know you. And the more
even
people,
like if me and you were driving, this happens all the time. You see another exotic. Oh, pull over. Boom. You're
all
in the
the
gas.
time.
And
all
it's
the
just
time.
like that. It's that quick.
All the
What's
time.
your name? What's your name? I mean, I got countless groups on my phone. We were talking about your toy drive that's coming up.
December 6th.
December 6th. And I just go right into the group. By the way, all the people I'm friends with who are wealthy and have these cars are the nicest people.
Yeah.
in
Most
the
successful people are, though.
So, you know how many people I've let drive my 911 Turbo S I don't even know?
Yeah.
And the reason I do that is because every car I've ever owned, I sat behind it.
Yeah.
And I felt what it felt like.
Yeah.
And so I truly believe if whoever's looking at it, I want a 911 Turbo S, come here, sit down.
Yeah.
Feel it.
That's
And if they're
cool.
old
That's
enough,
nice that you do that.
Yeah, it's very important to me.
Yeah.
But the toy drive coming up, if people are just starting
December
to find out
6th,
about it,
December 6th, we're doing a toy drive. It's going to be the biggest toy drive in the city. We're calling it the world's largest toy drive because we have so many great organizations involved with the toy drive. So December 6th in Tampa, it's being hosted by Shelt Air and myself. And from 9 to 5, you can come by and see the hangar, see these exotic cars that Ryan is bringing, and a lot of other people. And networking is going to be amazing. So all day from 9 to 5, you can come by, you can drop off your toys, you can network. I'll be there. Ryan will be there. Dan Fleischman will be there. A lot of other successful people will be there. So it's a great networking opportunity, but it's also a great way to give back because there's a lot of kids that don't have a lot of families and don't have money and things like that to get toys. So we want to give as many toys as we can away. So please bring your toys. December 6th, Shelt Air Hangar. If you go to my Instagram at Vick Tipnes, you can find all the details there and the link of where you can sign up and get more information.
So Dan is doing one of the largest toy drives.
Yeah.
I know he stops other places. You guys, we're trying to show out for Tampa.
Yeah.
We want to try to make this one of the best stops.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're already doing it super unique. You get to go to your hangar, which this is not something you get to do every single day. I got about 15 to 20 cars that are going to come, of course. Same thing, just like the networking thing.
Yeah.
This is a great place to network. Also, we want to give back as well. But these are the type of things where you can go watch a football game or you can come and meet successful entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So it's going to be
great.
Trying to do big for because I know he's going to other
Yeah,
states.
no, Tampa's always the biggest one, man.
Yeah.
It's always like the city of Tampa's got the most beautiful people.
Best people.
We got the best weather.
That's why RiseCon was so crazy.
It was
You
just
sold out
it was
pretty
just a
quick
group
for your
of-
first event.
Everybody there was beautiful. It was amazing. Like I remember even saying that to the crowd. I'm like, there's such a beautiful group of people.
There was energy in there.
And everybody was dressed so nice, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. You just don't see this everywhere.
And that was your first one, and you sold it out. And nobody even knew what it was.
Yeah.
Now that's some crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, after the last one ended, I was not here. I wasn't able to.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
I was overseas.
Yeah.
But after that one ended, right? Yeah. You guys, he doesn't just wait like 2 weeks ahead of time to line these people up. He started planning it the next one like a week later.
Yeah.
Okay, it's over.
Yeah.
Now let's
It's a week break.
Dude, it took a whole year for you to plan this
I love
3-day thing. For you to miss RiseCon with all the planning and everything that takes part to bring these people that the prices.
There's nobody else in the city
of Tampa.
of Tampa Bay
Okay.
that has been able to bring Alex Rodriguez, Magic Johnson, Rick Ross, Jay Cutler, David Goggins, Tucker Carlson, Grant Cardone, Natasha, Emily Ford. Nobody. I think that's a pretty great accomplishment for the city. And I was actually very disappointed that the mayor didn't come out, even though I personally invited her to come out. And I had breakfast with the mayor and said, hey, you should really come and support this. But I guess she just doesn't bleed red. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
And that's only in 2 events. All those people
I
in
mean,
2
look,
events.
you're having the biggest event in the state of Florida at the time.
Yeah.
The biggest A-listers coming in. You don't have A-listers coming here unless it's for the Super Bowl.
No.
So I think Vick Tipnes did a very good job, and it would have been great if the mayor would have supported that and said, hey, you know what, we're going to support this. We're going to get behind this because this is something amazing that the person's doing for the city. I brought millions of dollars in revenue to the city. Hotel rooms, partying, people coming here, people being exposed to the city.
Not just regular people.
Not just regular
successful people.
I had a sales rep in we have a sales rep in Arkansas that messaged me the other day. She was in a doctor's office in Arkansas, and the girl in there had a Max Life hat on, and she came to the last conference, and she was from Arkansas.
Yeah, the mayor, you might want to think, because the A-listers, but then the audience, these are not regular everyday people. These are boners.
Sometimes I want to go run. I want to go. I was like, somebody was asking me if I should run for mayor. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna run for mayor.
The thing is that this is not just regular people. These are people. That's the best part about RiseCon is the audience. You're not just surrounded by.
No, I've met so many great people. Yeah, I've met so many great people.
I see them still commenting on your stuff, like, yo, RiseCon, like, it's coming, buddy.
The panelists that we had were amazing, and no, great group of people, man. The production crew, Everlast did an amazing job. They're the best in the game. I mean, we had like the dream team. It was the best of the best of the best.
So, can we give like a little hint for the next one?
I wish I could tell you, but it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be no little.
No.
You're saying it's gonna top David Goggins?
Yeah.
A-Rod. Magic
Well,
Johnson.
I wouldn't say top. I think I don't.
It's going to compete with, obviously.
I don't even say compete. I just think it's a whole nother level. It's just a whole nother level.
What we're doing,
I think what we're going to do for the next conference is going to be very special, and I think people are going to see how much time and effort went into what we're.
I mean, you could see that in the first, but now you're learning. You're getting better.
We're learning and we're getting better, and I think what the experience that we're going to create for the next one is going to be.
If you miss RiseCon, by the way, the price that you have to pay should be higher.
Oh, I mean,
for the amount of
more money on their hair than the ticket.
Oh my god!
So,
for the amount of people you bring,
spend more money on their hair.
For the price that you pay for a ticket to get
nothing.
all those people and then all the entrepreneurs in one room,
it's nothing.
People will spend more than that at the club in Miami rather than.
Oh yeah, bottle service. But that's the fun. It's so funny because I have these conversations sometimes with people that will come over. I have some friends or people will come over. My wife's friends will come over and they're like, and I'm telling them like how much money I invest in myself, right? Whether it's going to a seminar or a course or whatever it may be, right? And sometimes people say, "Wow, you spent $10,000 on blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you spent $10,000 on your boobs."
This is
right, and yeah, it enhanced your body, but did it enhance your mind? Did it make you more able in your ability to make money? Now, if you're a stripper, okay, maybe it did. But if you're not a stripper, did it really enhance your mind? Are you more able to handle people because of that investment you made, for example? So I get people to think about that a little bit, right? Because you'll say, oh, well, $10,000, a lot of money. Yeah, but dude, you'll spend $10,000 on a nose job.
Yeah.
Or somebody will spend $25,000 on teeth or whatever it may be. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not hating on those people. Well, all I'm saying is don't knock something that cost a few $1,000s when you haven't retrospectively looked at it and said, well, hold on, I've spent $10,000 on a pair of boobs or $25,000 on something cosmetic that great made you feel better, but did it really enhance your ability to handle other people, or did it change your viewpoint on something? Did it make you more able? Did it make you more confident in your ability to handle something in your job? Are you way more versed in your trade than you were before? All of those things really matter to me because those are the things that are going to make you more money.
Of course. That's kind of like going back to what you were talking about before, where you're like, my wife does this too. She's like, yo, she'll say, the electricity's messed up.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm calling an electrician.
Yeah.
Or, the door on the trash is broken. Well, I'm going to call a carpenter then.
Yeah, exactly.
But, shouldn't you just fix it? Listen, I'm going to lose money in the time it's going to take me on hours on end running back and forth to Home Depot, YouTube, and how to fix this, than to just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
That's what it's come down to.
It's attention. Yes.
I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
But that's a skill that not everybody has, dude. Like Ryan, you got to understand, most people, in my opinion, they don't think like that.
Yeah.
They really don't, because what they think is, oh, I'm just going to save $1.
Yeah.
Okay. 90% of people would have just done it themselves, and they would have wasted all that time.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a gift.
Yeah.
That not a lot of people have.
Yeah.
So that's the best compliment, or best, I don't say compliment, it's the best characteristic that you can have for yourself, because most people don't have that. And
it's like, how much are they even valuing their time?
They're not.
Yeah.
And the thing is that most people get mad at you when you do have that viewpoint that you're like, well, hey, hold on, I'd rather just pay this person to do it than spend 5 hours doing it myself, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but you're gonna save $20. Like, dude, you're not understanding. The only commodity you have is time.
Yes,
that's all you
you're
have.
actually gonna make more. You're not gonna lose any money.
Yeah, it's all you have left.
If I go make a video compared to sitting there taking all my time, I'm making way more money making the video than what I gotta pay the guy to do it.
Exactly. So no, it doesn't make any sense. But that's it. And no offense to your wife, because my wife does it sometimes too. It's a poor man's mentality. It really is. It's a poor man's mentality, and having that mentality is just going to make you broken. That was funny enough, and I don't want to digress off it, but my dad had that mentality. And it was really, him and I would always lock horns about that, even when I was 19, 20 years old. And he would rather spend 5 hours fixing the sink in one of the motels that he owned than using that time in a different way, right? Because it would save him $65 or whatever the money was at that time. And I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very inherent ability, like it's innate within a person, whether they either have it or they don't. Yeah. And so I always disagree with that. So it's refreshing because not everybody has that viewpoint.
I mean, I don't know why they don't, but I guess
it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just how you value your time. I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah, me and you definitely see eye to eye in a lot of this.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially time-wise.
Yeah.
By the way, the election's going on right now. We have the election going on right now as we speak.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
This is a big day. We'll see what happens. But anyway, this is a special day to film.